Lloyd, the legendary Green Ninja, the one who was always meant to save the world. But was he? A new story trailer for Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 4 dropped recently, and it showcases Lloyd's journey through the Whispering Wood and the ritual of unrooting. A trial that doesn't test his power, but who he really is. And this makes us question, is he actually the Chosen One? But let's start from the beginning. Lloyd, alongside some of the other ninja, arrives at the Whispering Wood, a place that seems peaceful at first, but is actually in a terrible state. It has been left without the presence of the elemental master of life, causing it to weaken over time. As the Green Ninja and the current wielder of that power, Lloyd carries the responsibility to protect the forest and restore its balance. Upon his arrival, he is confronted by the Guardian of the Forest, the Archdragon of Life, who blames him for ignoring the call of the Whispering Wood. The problem is, Lloyd never received any call in the first place. And the reason for that goes back to his past. Due to the effects of the Tomorrow's Tea, Lloyd skipped his entire childhood, growing up almost instantly. This means he never had the time to fully understand his role or naturally grow into the Elemental Master of Life like those before him. The dragon then introduces him to the ritual of unrooting, a dangerous trial that every previous Elemental Master of Life had to complete in order to truly connect with the forest and gain control over it. But if others have already completed this ritual, then what actually makes Lloyd the Chosen One? We will come back to that, because the answer lies in what this trial really is. Lloyd decides to take on the challenge, and that's where things become much more personal. During the ritual, he encounters different versions of himself. A child, a teenager, and eventually something much darker. These versions aren't random. They represent the life Lloyd never fully experienced, the growth he skipped, the choices he never had the chance to make, and the person he could have become. One of the most important moments comes when his teenage self tells him that in order to complete the trial, he has to understand everything about his life, even paths not walked. And that's where the idea of an evil version of Lloyd comes in, not just as an enemy, but as a possibility, a version of himself that represents what he could have become under different circumstances. And this changes everything, because this trial isn't about defeating enemies or proving strength. It's about Lloyd facing himself, every version of himself, every possibility. And that might be his greatest challenge yet, because it's one thing to fight a villain, but it's something completely different to confront your own identity. The season will most likely show Lloyd physically fighting an evil version of himself, but the real battle will happen inside him. This version reflects one of his biggest fears, becoming evil just like his father, and that fear has always been part of his character. So, how does all of this connect to Lloyd being the Chosen One? Well, maybe it means he was never that special to begin with. Maybe he wasn't the only one. Maybe being the Green Ninja was never something unique, just a role that others had fulfilled before him. And if that's true, then destiny didn't choose Lloyd for who he is, which means he has to prove himself. Maybe being the Chosen One isn't something you're born as. Maybe it's something you become. And Season 4 might be the moment where Lloyd finally does that. Not by following a path that was given to him, but by understanding who he really is. And now, we can come back to the earlier question. What actually makes this trial harder for Lloyd than for the previous Elemental Masters of Life? It's the fact that he skipped his childhood. Because of that, he now has to confront every version of himself all at once, accept them, understand them, and overcome the fear of what he could become. He isn't just completing a ritual, he's rebuilding a part of himself that was never fully developed. And that's what makes this trial different, because Lloyd isn't just fighting to save the Whispering Wood, he's fighting to understand who he really is. And that's why this hits so hard, because it's not just about destiny or being the Chosen One, it's about something much more real, finding out who you are and deciding who you want to become. And maybe that's what being the Chosen One truly means. So the real question is, was Lloyd always the Chosen One? Or is it the moment he finally becomes one? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.